Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yes Please, the show where we dive in between check pleases to get into deeper levels of RP, and also to sort of luxuriate in the setting and kind of take our time here. So, welcome to the Yes Please. I'm Beardy, your DM, and these are my lovely players for this evening's game.
Hi there, my name's Keni, and I play Louie Freeman. He's here.
Hello, I am Shane, and I play Xander. He is also here for now.
Wonderful. And just to set this in time, it is April the 22nd of the year 808. And this takes place between sessions what and what?
35 and 36.
And 36.
35 and 36. Wonderful. All right. So
They'll see
there
that
we
on
have
the
it.
title, so
Oh, it's on the title. That's even easier.
yeah.
Well done, everyone. Well done.
Thank you.
You run a tight ship here.
Yep, I sure do.
So, just to set the narrative in everyone's mind, what had just happened is you had returned to the town of Sarajevo, and after having made your way out of the pit, and upon arrival here, you were in the Greenfields Inn, and it was attacked by a number of strange plant creatures. After a short but dangerous battle, the plant creatures were put down, and the party has taken a few hours to settle down, and cool off after that fight. Many people at this point have gone to bed. It is now about 11 p.m., and we join this adventure in the main common room of the Greenfields, which is currently closed to the public after the attack. And the only people here in the room are Louie, Bastion, as well as Husa, and of course the owner and proprietor of the establishment, Elena. Meanwhile, Xander, I believe, is in his room. So we shall actually start there, I believe. Is that fair with you?
Sounds good to me.
Mhm.
All right. So, Xander, here in your bedroom. Yeah, that's fine. Here in your bedroom, you pace back and forth after the events of the earlier battle. What is old Xander up to this fine evening?
Xander is pacing back and forth, taking a couple of looks out of the windows every few minutes, trying to see if there are any remnants of thorns or vines on the outside of this building.
There are some shriveled up plant matter, like some old dried up vines that are still hanging there. Seems like much of the building was covered in them for the duration of the attack, but once the attack ended, those plants quickly withered away into their current, now dry and brittle version.
Okay, that makes sense. Xander is staring intently at some of the plant matter that he extricated from the bodies of these walking salads from last session. Just getting a feel for them and reflecting on the experience and that vision of the individual that we saw. Did its voice in his mind feel familiar at all?
No.
Okay. And did the energy that coursed through the vines seem similar to anything that we've seen before?
I would say probably no.
Great, excellent.
Well,
And that
minor, yeah. I think it might have been most similar rather, to that Fey Guardian you fought in the Olive Grove.
that makes
That's probably
a lot
the
of sense.
closest thing to what you just dealt with.
Sure. In that case, Xander is going to kind of reflect on that and reminisce a little bit about the experience of taking on that guardian and pulling the corruption from the tree after it had died. And every once in a while, he kind of looks at the door to the room, kind of expectantly, and then shakes his head and continues to pace, as if waiting for something. But he seems to be conflicted.
All right. Do you feel conflicted about something?
Yes, conflicted. Feeling conflicted about a big decision, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the night is still young, so there are still many hours for him to ponder. But I think he's waiting to see how the night will turn out before he makes a decision.
Okay. So you just sort of chilling out your room and considering what to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
What are the others up to?
So meanwhile, Louie, you find yourself sobered up from your earlier experience today. A brush with death has certainly taken the edge off of your imbibing of whiskey earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And at this point, how is Louie feeling?
It's hard to put into words how he's feeling. There's a lot of restless nerves. There's a lot of uncertainty, and having such a strange thing happen to his mind was also pretty jarring for him, at least. But currently, he is standing in front of Xander's door, about to knock it.
Okay.
And so
well, then
he does.
I guess the next time that Xander looks over to the door expecting something, there will be a knock at said door.
Xander is going to kind of rush over to the door and open it. And he looks perhaps slightly surprised to see Louie there.
Hey.
Hello, Louie.
I wanted to check up on you.
Oh, is everything all right?
Well, technically, yes. Nothing is wrong currently as far as I am aware.
Well, that is good to hear.
May I come in?
I suppose that depends. Are you a vampire?
I don't think so, but you can check my teeth.
What if you filed them down?
That sounds incredibly painful and uncomfortable. I don't think I'd do that
As
to my
opposed-
mouth, but...
Two other things that we've experienced in the past 24 hours alone?
Okay. I understand. That's... touche. Well, if you don't say I can come in, and I cross this threshold, then that proves I'm not a vampire, correct?
Well, I don't think that I actually own this building in the first place, and this is just a room within the building, so I don't know.
Right.
We probably have to take this to the Berkey's courts.
I see.
Litigation seems like it could take a long time to determine an answer. In the meantime, you'd be waiting the entire time, so I suppose you might as well come in then.
I see. Well, thank you ever so much for your hospitality in a home that is not your own.
I live to serve.
Do you now?
Wouldn't you know best?
He looks confused.
Xander just smiles. Would you like to take a seat?
Sure. What is your preference?
My preference is whatever your preference is not.
Are we playing a game?
Would you like to play a game, Louie?
I don't know. I was hoping to speak with you. And Louie will move and pull out a chair next to a desk and sit down on it. And Louie never really seems to have like a particular favorite sitting style. But in this moment, he crosses his right leg over his left, kind of perched a lot higher than you would normally see him sit. Very
Okay.
relaxed.
Xander will slowly seat himself on the ground with his legs folded underneath him and his hands in his lap.
Well, I feel as though I've had a lot to say coming into this room, and now I find myself terrified to breach any topic.
Oh, I am sorry that I have paralyzed you with terror.
Louis just raises a hand to say no to the statement. It's not that at all.
All right.
You seem to be going through, well, you seem to be able to handle yourself quite remarkably. But I sense that there's a lot going on. Things I couldn't possibly fathom, it seems, but that is usually what I have sensed in you since meeting you.
I see.
I need to tell you something that that you should know. That you should know, I suppose.
Okay, Louie, is everything okay? Do you need help?
Well, I would recommend you sit wherever is the most comfortable for you in this room before I say anything.
Here is quite comfortable for me, Louie.
All right. And Louie will stand up, and he will walk to the window and look outside it. And he pulls something out of his pocket and looks at it. It's a folded up piece of paper. I would like to thank you.
What do you mean?
Well, this might be easier differently. May I ask, Xander, do you have a language that you favor above others?
A language that I favor above others.
That you like the sound of, or that feels the most comfortable for you?
I suppose Bergis has recently been more common, I suppose. But... And then Xander will switch into Shadespeak.
What a language choice.
Very wispy.
Mm-hmm.
Louie will nod. Looks like he thinks for a moment, mumbles something under his breath, and then nods again. And we'll continue the conversation in Shadespeak. You see, I have found myself in a situation quite foreign to me. However, one could state that all situations recently have been foreign to me. Xander, I would like to thank you and No, that's not right. I have to do it right. Louie will kneel down so that he's at eye level with Xander and mirror how he's sitting. There are many words I am unable to say. So I will try to do this in a way that I can. If you'll be patient with me.
Of course, Louie.
And I mean not to scare you. I believe, if anything, this should be far scarier for me than it should be for you. So you may be at ease, as I do not wish to be another stressor upon your life, though you, again, seem to handle things quite well, so...
You're not a stressor, Louie. Xander's gonna say, and it seems that Xander tends to sit upright with very sort of rigid posture, though it doesn't seem necessarily uncomfortable. But right now he seems especially still, like he is focused very intently on Louie.
I find that your advice means the world to me. And although sometimes taking some steps are terrifying for me, I feel as though some things are better to try, even when terrifying. You see, I find you to be one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. I apologize. It's hard for me to speak on this. I did not mean that to sound so gruff.
Xander looks at Louie with an expression of slight confusion is not exactly the right word. There's a tinge of surprise, uncertainty, but it seems more that he's trying to process exactly what Louie is trying to say.
You are the person I come to when I wish to have company of any type, to be frankly honest. And selfishly, I find myself enjoying and wanting it more. Now, recently, with us being trapped in that house and being trapped in the caverns below, and what happened with that monster, I realized that you are a fool, and as such, I should express these things in case this fool ever chooses to be a hero again.
Xander looks down slightly. You are correct, Louie. I most certainly am a fool. And I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Louie, you can see him reaching forward and with his left hand, and you can see it shaking, but his face is full of concentration. It looks like he's fighting his flight response, to be frankly honest.
Mm-hmm.
And he gently pats Xander's hand. The one closest to him, if anything.
Xander kind of lifts it.
Oh, Louie will take it?
Xander looks down at the hand that Louie is now holding.
I have found you to be a victim of my affections. And I do not expect anything. How could I? But whatever may happen, I want you to understand that I have somehow found my heart and soul intertwined in yours, and I do not wish out. However, I understand that there are many things you cannot tell me, and there are a lot of complications in your life. These do not bother me, but know that whatever happens, I will hold a candle in my heart until my dying day.
Xander is going to kind of close his eyes and take several breaths. And he is going to kind of reach out and pull Louie into a hug.
You can feel him tense up at first, kind of in shock, but then slowly just relax, though you can feel a slight quiver throughout his body from time to time, just from nerves.
Sure. Xander is going to just gently pat his back, and he's got his head kind of buried in Louie's shoulder, but he is being very careful not to touch the area too.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he's still slightly tense, and he seems to be breathing in a very particular, almost rhythmic way. And after maybe 30 or so seconds of silence, he's going to speak. And he's going to say, I have to admit that with all my powers of prognostication, I don't think that I quite envisioned that was going to be what you were going to say to me, Louie.
Well, I apologize. All around me is a storm I am combating, but in the center is the only calm I've found.
Louie, you really don't need to apologize. I
know. I was planning to not at all during me bringing this up.
Louie, you are so very important to me. From the first time that we met, I had lots of doubts and reservations about different members of the group. I had not encountered strangers, others, very much before that point. And so I didn't know what to make of the group. And I also didn't quite know what to make of you. But
Understandable.
after our first really private conversation, I suppose I was intrigued. I have to admit that it only made me more wary of you because I recognized someone quite intelligent with a sharp mind, a lot of drive to see through the things that they believed in, and passion and an intensity there. I must confess that I don't even really know where I'm going with this, except to say that I am so grateful that we met on that day, regardless of whether it was an accident or fate or someone pulling the strings to make sure that we ran into each other at that moment.
Louie nods. But he's, in reflection to Xander earlier, very still, with a little shake here and there once in a while.
You have become my closest friend, and I believe that you deserve happiness. You deserve a good life, free from all of the struggles that you have experienced thus far, and not just free from struggle, but full of joy and wonder. And I don't know how to respond to your feelings right now, Louie.
That's okay.
Except to say that I treasure you, and our relationship, and I want the best for you, Louie. I'll need time to reflect on this.
I completely understand. I did throw this at you out of the blue. It was my own needs that I chose to follow this time.
And that makes me really happy, Louie. I think that you should live a life where you feel comfortable following your heart, because it is a good heart.
He nods. Honestly, of the many scenarios that I wrote in my head in the past several hours, this is a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
What do you mean?
Oh, I have been terrified to speak to you upon this.
Why is that, Louie?
Well, I promised myself that I would not be negative during this conversation. One, I wasn't even sure if you saw me in any positive light sometimes, as this has nothing to do with how you act. This has more to do with how I think. There's a myriad of reasons that I was terrified. However, I find bringing any of them up simply dampens everything. And
Xander will not.
if you truly want to know, I think it would be better to speak on it when we're both feeling a bit more jovial.
That makes sense, Louie. I will admit, in response to what you just said, that I didn't even consider this a possibility based mostly on things that you've spoken on before.
I know.
Which is not a way of accusing you or anything.
I mean, I wasn't even sure if you could feel or consider anything close to me based on how you treated other people when we first met, specifically in Luciana, maybe.
What does that mean?
I would see moments where you would flirt with people. And I realized, well, Xander's not doing that for me. And eventually I realized you tend to sort of sway depending on who you're talking to, but I thought maybe he just doesn't even see me as, I don't know, man enough or something. It's dumb.
No, not at all, Louie. I'm sorry if my actions...
You have nothing to apologize for. Again, I seem to interpret the world in a much different capacity than I feel as though most people do, so I'm not blaming you. I hope you understand that.
I do. And I am not one to judge the way in which you view the world, because I think we can safely say that I would also fall into that category as well. Though, frankly, The main reason that I have never flirted with you is because from the start, you've always seemed uncomfortable with that sort of attention, and based on your actions and the preferences that you have at various points either spoken of or alluded to, I figured such an act would be a violation of your desires and your comfort.
That's good to hear, truly. This is new for me, anyways. And as composed as he has been trying to make himself look, his ears just grow quite pink in that statement.
I can certainly imagine that.
And I don't even know quite how to go about such things. Again, I wish to give you as much time as possible, as you need. Even if it's not. I had to. But if you do, there's also some other complications.
Oh?
Well, I don't know how to word this out in this language without sounding a bit childish in my statement.
And he's going to switch.
In any language.
Oh. I see. I doubt that you are going to sound childish, Louie, so whatever makes you feel the most comfortable.
Even if you ever did find that you had affections for me, I don't even know when or how or whatever I'd be comfortable to explore such things. I don't fully understand a lot of what's been happening with me in this regard.
Well, I can assure you right now, Louie, that regardless of what my answer is, I can say for certain that whatever time you need to figure that out or to explore that, any assistance you need to try and sort through that, that is perfectly okay.
Okay.
And going back to something that you said earlier, I want you to know that you mean the world to me as well, Louie.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Now it feels a little less painful.
I'm glad.
I feel as though I've been restricting my air on accident by wrapping it up so tightly.
I'm glad that it's a little bit easier to breathe now. Though I wish I didn't have to be the reason for you to be feeling any pain at all.
Well, I suppose that's more so on the aspect of jealousy. Which is not your fault.
I see.
And Louie will give Xander's hand a gentle squeeze as he is... Or wait, did he hug him after? Currently, he has no
He did
idea.
hug him after.
He does not know where his body is currently. It's okay. He sort of like looks at his hands and then like kind of touches them together, and you can see he kind of shifts them back and forth like he's trying to warm them. They are currently very clammy. But I don't expect anything. You are my best friend, and whatever outcome you want, I will still remain your best friend until you excuse me.
Well, in that case, I suppose that fact is not going to be changing anytime soon, regardless.
Oh, thank God. I apologize for... nope. I can do this. I did, however, come to your room quite late at night, so I do not wish to take up more of your time than you are willing to give.
Feel free to take up as much as of my time as you would like, Louie.
All right. Do you remember the question you asked me April 6th? Specifically, the morning of April 7th, technically. It was around midnight, so it's kind of hard to...
Xander is going to close his eyes very briefly. Yes.
Louie is going to open up his journal and flip to that page of that date, and you see a pressed marigold on that page. I know this was not the day that you gave that flower to me, but I believe it was the first thorn I had felt.
I see.
The answer I already knew. I just wasn't ready to say it out loud.
Xander has an expression on his face like he is going through the days, the events together, recontextualizing everything with this information, slowly nodding to himself. I see. And he's going to squeeze Louie's hand. Thank you for telling me, Louie.
Of course. Heroes should know their impact on the people around them.
Do you know yours?
Not yet. I'm working to... No, if I say that, then it won't.
I see.
How do you sit like this all the time?
It's really quite natural.
Oh, that's so good for you. I feel like my back hurts. But, and he pulls out of his pocket the folded paper that you saw. It's just a poem that I maybe wrote a while ago. So it's probably not refined or anything because I did it really quickly and wait, that's not quite right. The words in there very intently mean what they mean, but they might be a bit extreme.
Understood. It is poetry. Would you like me to read it, or would you like to read it?
I'm not reading it. That would be so, embarrassing.
I see. In that case, would you prefer I read it silently to myself, outside of your presence? What would make you the most comfortable, Louie?
I want you to read it when you're ready to read it. There is no rush, not even a need. Well, you may decide to never open it, but it's yours.
I would not dream of leaving it unopened and allowing a poem from a renowned poet and winner of Luciana's first poetry slam to be lost to the ages.
I don't think
It would be
was
irresponsible.
their first poetry slam. I am deflecting. But this is really hard.
You're doing quite well.
Thank you. I am deflecting. However, thank you for your kind words. I feel faint.
Would you like to hear a poem, Louie?
Sure.
I'm afraid this is not a poem that has never been heard before. This is an original one. Your friend Detlef has heard this one.
All right.
Shadows dance behind heavy lids, fluttering in the breeze of a loving mother's final breath. She speaks of love, she speaks of truth, yet she lies in a ceaseless, sleepless, shallow death. Hold the brush with painted lips, stained by the sweetest fruit. Eternal love has taken root, unknown to space, unknown to time. It endures, but is not mine. Purest of clays, I reach out to shape. Fractured echoes of the past, haunted whispers of things to come. What form will it take? How long shall it last?
And what does that mean to you, Xander?
I suppose it was a riddle that I was looking for the answer to.
Have you found it yet?
No, but I suppose I've realized that the riddle is actually the answer, not the question.
That makes sense.
What about you?
What about me?
What are your thoughts? You look like you're thinking.
Oh. Detlef has been my mentor since I was a child. With periods of time of being unable to see one another as well. So I wouldn't say he's been my mentor my entire life, but for a majority of it.
At least 5 to 7 years.
Give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Time's a bit funny like that.
Indeed.
Well, one, the poem sounds very beautiful. It has great imagery, to be frankly honest. But if the poem is the answer, then the riddle might be who did that to her?
Mm-hmm.
Or rather,
Interesting.
if I think about it, and he tilts his head, and you can see his eyes not exactly like lose the light in them, but rather it looks like he's looking off in the distance as he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like it sounds like the end of a story, like someone ripped a page out. But I don't think that has to be the end either. I think it could be a middle page. There's a beginning, there is an end that is the middle. One of them, perhaps.
Xander is smiling at Louie when he does return from that far off place that he is visiting to reflect on this.
Mm-hmm. What?
It's a very Louie answer.
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, well, I suppose I should pass on the mantle of mystic to you then, Louie.
No, thank you.
Now it's my turn to say, I knew you'd say that.
I've seen enough of what you deal with, and it's not even scratching the surface, from what I assume.
Well, I think your answer is quite lovely. When I remember what the riddle is, I'll let you know.
Good. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Of course.
Well, I don't know what to do anymore. I had a lot of plans of walking out that door and accepting my fate. So, I'm currently
You accept your fate? How un-Louie.
by your hand.
By my hand?
I would accept it.
I see.
So, now that I'm here and not leaving that door in acceptance, I'm not actually sure what to do with myself.
What do you feel like doing?
I don't know. The scariest thing that I've been dreading for the past several days. You can see his face and ears pink up once more.
Xander's smiling a little bit.
Right. Well, I don't know what to do with myself.
Well,
I mostly...
if-
I don't know, feel like nothing.
well then you should laugh, Louie.
Oh, okay. I don't know when we might die. I don't know if I can die. But I'm just really glad I won't regret this.
I'm really glad to hear that as well, Louie, and you won't be dying anytime soon. Not if I have any say in the matter.
Same goes
And
for
I
you,
do.
but reversed.
I appreciate it, Louie.
But I have taken up plenty of your time this evening. I wanted to. I had to.
I'm really glad that you did, Louie.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Louie. I also think it's only fair that I tell you that there is something I feel I must do tonight. More than one something.
I am always there for you if you wish it. Or
I know, Louie.
I will wait here for you. Or come find you if you give me a certain amount of time that you might be gone.
I think you would not appreciate being a part of what I must do tonight.
You can't tell me.
I am going to try and make amends for something that I have done.
With whom?
With my family.
Louie kind of shifts uncomfortably where he is, and then using one hand kind of slides himself forward closer to Xander so that his kneecaps are touching his. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Then I support it. Is it going to be dangerous?
Breathing is dangerous these days, so I'm afraid I
Yeah.
have to say I don't know.
Then I trust you. Give me a time limit, and I will always come find you. But if you do not need me to come find you, come back, please.
I appreciate this, Louie, and I will come back.
Good. Because I don't think anyone in this group really likes me that much, so it'd be really fucking suck if you weren't around. Like, you're like my only friend. I'm sorry,
think-
I didn't. That sounded actually worse after I said. I was just trying to. I said it.
You did. But we had finished the conversation and switched over to my confession of something that I would like to do tonight, so it doesn't count, actually.
Okay. Thank you.
But I would like to say that I think your perception of the others' thoughts about you may not necessarily be the most objective. Not that I claim to be the most objective observer of anything.
Mm-hmm. I thought you had already figured me out, to be honest.
There have been moments where a small part of me wondered, but I considered it to be like a fundamental law.
How so?
Sort of like, barring unusual circumstances, the sun will rise in the morning and it will eventually set. If you jump from a building, you will fall unless you possess magical flight. If you touch the flames, generally you will burn. I thought of, I suppose, your feelings as I understood them to be an absolute. So anytime there was evidence to the contrary, I simply chalked it up to a mistake on my part. and ignored my guts, as it were.
Didn't...
Hmm?
He's still my mentor. Didn't Detlev say something to the contrary of that?
Detlev did say that it was important to trust my gut.
Now, I'm not going to say it's right all the time, as I
We
feel
both know that is certainly not true.
Mm-hmm. But be that as it may, I don't think it's good for me to agree with everything you say. Though I do
I'd be very
find
concerned if you did.
that I do from time to time, perhaps, maybe
Occasionally,
sway.
once or twice at least.
But we were speaking on your family.
Yes.
This is about you, not about me, so I do not wish to take the subject from you, as I am inherently extremely fascinated by you. I'm really
I
bad at
think
voicing this.
Relates to you as well, in a sense.
Your family?
In an abstract sense. Perhaps I should not say this, actually. I'm not completely certain.
Okay.
I think of you as sort of part of my family as well, in an abstract sense, if that makes sense.
Sure. As long as it's not weird that I just said all those things then.
Not necessarily in a literal sense, more of family is supposed to be a group of people who are interwoven with each other, whether through blood or not. And so I feel that, just as you have said, our paths and our souls are interwoven. I agree with that statement. And so in that sense, I believe we are family too.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why you're thanking me, but
No, I've never had a family I liked, so, well, I mean my sister, but it's been a while.
I look forward to the day where you get some answers and some closure.
Me too, yeah. There's things complicated with both of us. Things I understand that assume that you cannot share, just as I am incapable of certain things. Repercussions be damned sometimes, though.
I agree.
I know.
What's that supposed to mean, Louie?
I think you know exactly what that means, Xander.
I never said that I didn't.
Well, do what you need to with your family. If you don't come home, I'll come find you.
I hope that you don't need to.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I feel it would be very uncomfortable for you.
I disagree. All things are uncomfortable for me.
Doesn't that make my statement true?
I was hoping that with everything being uncomfortable, the prognosis would be that everything's normal.
I see.
I
I suppose that's a valid interpretation.
did not land on that one quite as well as it had sounded in my head before I spoke it out into the world.
Well, perhaps with all of the heists and roof jumping capers that we'll be doing once we get to the
Yes.
next city, you'll be ready to...
I actually need Bastion's help with learning how to flip.
Oh,
I want to learn how to flip. It looks cool. He just shrugs. It's just a very honest, like, I just think it's cool. His
the
weird
endeavor.
half shrug.
Xander nods. I see. I wish you the best of luck with your acrobatic aerial maneuver practice with Bastion.
Yeah. Thank you. Don't know if it would be very aerial.
I suppose it depends on how good of a teacher he is and how quick of a study
I'm
you
sure
are.
he's fine. We'll see. We'll see on that end. But it doesn't hurt to try. And with only one arm being able to be used, perhaps it would be good to try to efficiently utilize my body so that I am not a problem for future instances that our group is all together and we need to maybe climb up a fucking rope.
I see.
Again,
Well,
his face is pink.
I think that that is a worthwhile endeavor. I believe you will likely find success. That wasn't a prediction, by the way.
True. You said there was another thing, though?
That I was planning on doing tonight?
Thought so.
Yes. There are 2 things I must do. Related,
Related.
but separate.
And
think.
you'll be okay? I do hope you try to think of yourself sometimes.
I would respond that I think of myself all the time, but I feel that you would disagree with that statement.
I would say it's a matter of perspective. Ours differ. But it is not
So they do.
inherently bad one way or the other.
I appreciate your point of view, Louie.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
On the plus side, I can say that with a reasonable amount of certainty, this is less dangerous than allowing the Magic Eater to hit me instead of the rest of you.
A fool. But a hero.
That is also a matter of perspective.
I believe it.
Well, if you believe it, then I shall not question your beliefs.
It's very kind for someone like me. Beliefs. It was kind of a layered joke. I gotta work on these. I'm not hitting them as well as I normally do.
No, I think you're hitting them quite well.
Well. Do you have everything you need?
He looks down at his hands and then up at Louie, and he's gonna nod a couple times. I have everything I need, or will have everything I need at the time that I need it.
All right.
Most likely.
Hmm.
The reasonable degree of certainty.
All right. I will stay up for you.
I hope that you won't have to stay up for too long. It really could be just a very simple thing.
Just a candle at a window.
All right.
And Louis stands up. I will, give you your space. But
All right. Just
please.
I was just going to say, be careful with the candle at the window, because I hear that there is somewhat of a pyromaniac going around Burgos.
Is it Valentino?
I don't know, but last I heard, they were scorching walls of buildings and burning creatures from other planes.
Right. Well, I'll keep an eye out for them.
Good. I will too.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to you later, Star.
As Louis leaves, Xander is going to look at the piece of paper that he still has folded, and he's going to open it and read it.
Okay.
What does it say?
It says, sometimes, and now I'm gonna alter this vocally a little bit. People
Take your
say,
time.
you can tell the word loving is written under there, but it's crossed out several times over. He redacted it. Someone is hard. I'm not sure who they blank, but to me, blank, you is easy. It's like breathing. I want it more than anything, so I keep doing it. What's hard is seeing you hurt and knowing nothing I do will ever help you. Nonetheless, I will blank you easily.
Xander is going to reread it several times.
I'm
And
glad Louie's
he's
not
going
here.
to-
He'd be embarrassed.
Yeah. Xander folds it very carefully, making sure not to leave any new wrinkles. And he is going to kind of stick it in his collar close to his chest. And he's going to walk over to the wall and just press his forehead against it and his hands, just exerting pressure as he breathes in a very methodical, formulaic way. Almost like he is singing with his breath and not his voice. And then after a few minutes of that, he is going to step back, let out a deep breath, nod to himself, and he is going to leave his room and the green fields.
As you walk out into the main room, it is now about 11:30 p.m. And you see Louie, Bastion, and Husa sitting at a table. Elena is behind the bar, looking a little bit more worried than normal. And the rest of the room is completely empty as the place is still closed to the public.
Sure. Xander's gonna walk through the place, look at the three sitting at the table, and in particular, Husa.
Hmm.
And he's going to silently kind of walk up next to her, and he's going to say, I believe you are still not in the best physical condition after the fight. Are you all right?
Oh, one of those hit me fairly hard, but I should live. I've taken worse attacks. Once from a crag spider. It bit me,
Ooh.
but good. I was sick for 3 days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds quite bad.
Well, three. You call them days here. They were.
Yes.
I'm trying to use your words. Sorry.
Take your time.
Yes. Why do you say? I should heal on my own.
Would you like to see some surface magic?
Sure. I think that the magic appears very interesting. It's even in your drinks.
Sometimes.
That's true. Elena
Sometimes.
here is very particularly special on that extent.
Mm-hmm.
Xander is going to reach out a hand for Husa.
She slowly takes your hand, cautiously.
And Xander is going to close his eyes, and he's going to reach out with his right hand and lay it over hers.
Mhm.
And as he closes his eyes, a small golden glow is going to appear around his chest area, and it's going to spread out through his hands and then pulse into her hands. And I would like to reconstitute
You got it.
her. And she's going to regain 21 hit points.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is that's the best one you've ever done, I believe.
That is the best one I've ever done.
Damn.
It's
Husa
almost
is
a
fully
perfect
healed.
roll.
Fully healed. all of the injuries, cuts, bruises, all of that is just going to close, fade away, get back to normal skin tones. And Husa will move her arm and joints and flex her fingers and say, "You fixed everything. That was amazing."
No, it wasn't that much, but I appreciate it.
May I trade something for you?
Oh, most certainly, if you would like.
You should receive something in return, right?
I think that for friends, there is no need to trade things for others, but friends do like to give gifts. And so what I just gave you was a gift.
Oh. Then this is also a gift. And Husa will pick up a like a half-sized glass on the table in front of her and hand it to you.
Xander will take the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Husa.
You're welcome.
I will treasure this glass.
Elena clears her throat behind you.
And Xander is going to kind of step to the side and he's going to drop some gold on the bar for her as surreptitiously as he can.
Husa seems pleased by and doesn't notice what you do.
Excellent.
She's too engrossed in looking at the lack of wounds on her.
Incredible. He's gonna drop 5 gold. That should be enough for this glass.
More than enough for a glass, yeah.
Perfect.
She's making bank off of us anyways. Fuck it.
You're right. You're right. It's fine. Yeah, he's gonna drop 5 gold, and then he is going to look to Bastion.
What's up, bro?
You're not looking the greatest right now either.
I'll be fine. But
are you sure?
It's good what you did for Husa, at least.
I'll old-fashioned bandage him up if he doesn't want to be healed.
That sounds fun.
Yeah?
Bastion will scoot his chair closer to Louie. I mean, the way that I would see like you wrap up your right arm, you have a lot of practice at it, so you're probably pretty good, right?
Yeah, I guess. How tight do you like it?
There's a joke in there. I can see, but I'm not gonna go for it. It's too easy. Bandage me as tight as you want. And he holds his arms up over his head.
I can't
Oh, what did you need to bandage?
Your wounds.
Okay, well I got wounds all over. You gotta bandage me everywhere.
Perhaps we should do this in another room that's not in front of... And he just glances over at Husa.
Husa is just sitting there blinking, like as naive as possible. Does not pick up on any of this.
Yeah, can we...
And just thinks this is normal interactions.
Yeah, I should give the two of you some privacy. I actually have some business to attend to.
Oh. Do people normally heal each other in private?
Sometimes.
Oh. Did what you just did for me is considered intimate?
No. But
no.
People who feel intimately towards each other may choose to heal each other privately, but healing in and of itself is not necessarily intimate in the way that you believe it to be.
Yeah, Husa, it's totally cool. Like, it doesn't bother me at all, and it's not really like an intimate thing. I mean, come on, bro, you can bandage right here. I don't care. You may take my shirt off. You can take my shirt off. Whoop. Shirt's off. See, I got like cut here, where like one of those thorns got me real good. And then like I got a one on my arm here where I tried to block and it didn't work so well. So it's
Okay.
mostly scabbed over now, but like yeah, if you want to like bandage me, like I'm cool with that. Let's go.
I've got you. Xander?
Oh, yes. I will see you later.
I was just going to say,
Oh.
be safe.
No, where are you going, Xando?
He's going to... I hereby declare that the buddy system is no longer needed.
Bullshit.
Fuck off, Bastion. Come on.
No, what do you mean?
Bastion.
What?
I'm gonna go do, weird Xando stuff. The usual.
I mean, that's fine and all. Just like it seemed like the buddy system was such a good idea. And for you to just kill it like that, I mean,
It's
it
what I
deserved
do.
better than to just be killed like that, you know?
We'll bring it back.
But some things you need to do on your own.
Yeah, like crank it. Yeah. I get it.
Again, Louie's face is just bright red, and then he just waves for Xander to leave as soon
Well,
as possible.
In that case, I will be back
Oh.
soon.
All right, sure.
Just be-
All right, well,
See you
I'll-
when you come home safe. Okay, great.
Yep.
Cool.
just watch out for murderers and stuff, I guess.
Yes,
'Cause,
please.
Yeah.
and also apparently plant monsters now.
Oh, he closed the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put some herbs on you first.
Sure. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Lay it on me. Anything you got to do. It's cool. You are allowed to do whatever you need to do for all of this.
Elena, do you happen to have a mortar and pestle?
Yes, I have a mortar and pestle. One moment. And she heads off into the kitchen. And as she's out there rummaging around, Husa leans forward and says, "What is crank it? Is that a surface thing?"
It is.
I don't know that word.
phrase that is what I would contextualize as inappropriate, Husa, and some
Oh,
people shouldn't be saying that in front of polite company.
What? I mean, it's the truth. If you're going to do something, like, that's the thing you do in
No,
private.
Louis just just starts covering Vash's
But
mouth.
I mean, I can explain it to Husa. Okay, fine. You know, all right, fine. We'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Huh. You're welcome.
Good.
Anytime, bro.
Right.
Hmm.
All right.
Anytime, bro.
I apologize, Husa. He's not used to
Oh.
someone like you.
Am I a problem?
No, you're just a young lady.
Okay. I mean, I feel that I've somehow made the situation worse, and I don't
Nah,
understand how.
that's all him. Isn't that right, Bastion?
Yeah, no, totally me. Big old foot in my mouth. It's all good.
He's good at that.
I mean, it's one of my specialties.
Feet,
It's all cool.
mouths.
Not exactly what I meant, but like,
I'm sorry, Bastion.
it's fine. It was a pretty good joke. So like, yeah, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You're not making us uncomfortable. Are you sure? It seems like I've said something that's
No, we're fine.
caused a problem.
Yeah, if anything, we're just mostly the way we verbalize in this way. It's sort of like playing for us, but with words.
Yeah, we're just fucking around. It's fine. What? We're just like,
Can you use
saying
more
shit, it's cool.
appropriate language around her?
what? If she's gonna be on the surface, she's gonna need to learn these words eventually. I mean, we learned like the, weird like cave speak that they had. She may as well learn like
Well, not everyone says.
what, fucking around. Everybody says fucking. First of all,
Not everyone.
let's be clear.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
I don't know, man. Pretty sure everybody does.
Not me. I think.
I don't
mean-
think you. Pretty sure you have. It's cool though. Look, everybody drops bombs. You know, it's all good.
Yes,
Be
but
like,
at
hey.
appropriate times and usually due to frustration.
And once again, the conversation. Never mind. Again, too easy of a joke. It's fine. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So anyway, what's you drinking there, Husa? Oh, this, it was a. And before she can answer, Elena walks back in. I found the pestle. It was buried deeper than I expected. Here, and
Thank
she'll
you.
slide it across the bar to you.
And Louie will pick it up one-handed, kind of do that whole, like, most of the arms wrapped around it kind of situation, and heft it over to the table. He's gonna put in some herbs inside of it and just start moving it around. Elena, just a little bit of water if you can.
Sure. And she's going to.
I didn't want to spit in it.
She takes the tankard and very carefully concentrates on it and gets it to pour. And it only pours just the tiniest amount of water.
I mean, weren't you able to use a create water spell the last time we were here?
What? Oh, I didn't prepare that today.
Right. Well, thank you very much. And Louis will continue to make a poultice until he can gently apply it on any cuts and scrapes. He will delicately pull out any thorns that might still be stuck in Bastion. And once he's done with that, he'll slowly but efficiently wrap him in bandages that he has for himself. And there you are. I hope the poultice didn't hurt too much. But if it did, I'm sorry, and I owe you one.
It's all good. I think it worked out pretty well.
So are you, like, naturally ginger?
Ginger's like a root vegetable, bro.
It's your hair color.
Yeah, it's red.
Okay. Is it naturally that color?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know what else it would be. I mean,
I
I'm
mean-
going around dyeing it or something? Because, like...
No, I was just curious because I thought that, like, if you're... I thought maybe your hair might look nice blonde as well.
Oh. I mean, maybe. I guess I never really thought about it. It's just always been like that.
Mm.
He shakes his head, flopping his hair around.
I was just thinking. Kind of like how I think you'd look good with a ponytail.
You know, I've thought about growing it out before. Is that weird?
That's quite the opposite of what you said last time.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably about right then.
You just change your mind, or...
Maybe. Kinda. I mean, just seemed like a good idea.
Hmm.
Might be fun. But at the same time, probably a lot of hassle to keep up with.
Well,
Phew.
if you do, who knows how long we're all going to be traveling together, so I'd be happy to help you take care of it until it's manageable.
Well, like you're really good with long hair then, huh?
Yeah.
You know about hair. That's fun.
Oh, my sister had beautiful long locks. Went all the way down to her hips, I guess.
That's pretty good. Pretty long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
She took care of it well enough, other than when I needed to step in. And
Nice.
take care of the split ends.
Doing some pruning work and all that.
Well, yes, it can't grow unless some of it's taken care of. She really liked it long. Oh, she loved her braids. She also liked hitting me with them for fun.
Okay.
Oh, it was just something silly that I remembered, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like it meant a lot to you.
Yeah. She does.
Nice.
If the bandages start to itch, let me know, and I'll change them for you.
Sure. I mean, I guess it depends on what was in that cream stuff you put on me. If I like react poorly to it. We'll see.
Yeah, who knows if you're allergic? I could have just killed you.
I mean, if you were gonna kill me with like a contact poison, like you really could have done that a long time ago.
I know.
So like,
quite nice of me to have not killed you by now.
I'm just saying, like, if you were gonna kill me, you'd have done it by now. Either
Mm.
that or you're just real bad at this.
You know, I could be really bad at killing people. I've never tried, but
I don't know. I mean, like when we've ever gotten in a fight and stuff, like you're pretty good with those ice things. So I don't know. Pretty sure you could.
I
It seems like
guess.
there'd be better ways to have done it by now to get it over with. Like,
Got a
yeah,
lot of spells
pretty-
at this point.
pretty sure you're not trying to kill me. Wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Well, if I ever change my mind, I'll give you a head start.
Cool. Sounds good.
And Louie will continue relaxing with Bastion and Husa.
So they have a nice, quiet evening, sharing a quiet conversation about various topics. But meanwhile, Xander, you have killed the rule of the buddy system and have left.
He killed it.
Yep.
It's been slaughtered dead, and you have made your way into Saraibo. Where would you like to go?
I would like to head to the olive tree area of the town.
Okay. You make your
What's
way.
the sky like?
What's that?
What's the sky like? Currently?
So it is currently a waning gibbous moon. So we're moving away from a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
The full moon was actually a little bit less than a week ago, so it's about halfway between a full moon and a half moon. So it's like a perfect crescent tonight. There are no clouds, and the stars are shining quite brightly. So, yeah, it's a decent
Wonderful.
evening. Cloudless sky, and as far as temperature goes, I would say it's a little on the chilly side, but not too bad. Maybe
Okay.
low 50s.
Perfect. I think Xander is going to walk at a somewhat languid pace, just enjoying the slight chill as he makes his way generally in the direction of those trees.
Okay. You make your way out toward Treeside in the city and head out away from the city itself toward the olive groves. Before you know it, you are surrounded by old trees.
Compared to how the area looked when we first got to Sarajevo, and I guess after we dealt with the spirit,
Mhm.
how do the trees in general look, and then how does the main tree look?
They appear to be in a better state than they were before. It looks like they've recovered slightly. So there's a little bit of sign of like new leaves budding on many of the branches. So it seems like the olive grove here is in better spirits and better health.
Xander is going to see that, and he'll smile a little bit and make his way towards the original tree.
Mhm.
He'll approach, getting real close, and he'd like to kind of reach out and touch it, close his eyes and breathe and kind of feel for the energy of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll spend a couple of minutes just breathing in and out, feeling the life of the tree, and steeling himself for what he would like to do. And after a few minutes, he's going to reach down for his belt, and he is going to unhook Sage, the little humanoid shaped mass of hair and plants that was used by Bruno to scare off people.
Okay.
And he's gonna hold it up. And with one hand on the tree, he is going to swallow and say, life bringer, creator, mother, Eden. I hope that Bruno and little Rebecca are doing well, and that her lessons are going smoothly. I understand that she is quite gifted, even for her age, and I hope and believe that she has a bright future if your blessings and your signs are anything to go by. I'm afraid that I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I haven't really had much reason to speak or attempt to speak to you in the past. But a friend who I care about deeply said something to me earlier, and I realized that I may have done something wrong. I'm not sure. But if I have, then Xander is going to slowly lower himself to his knees and just press his forehead against the tree. If I have done something wrong, if I have broken some rule, then I just want you to know that I am very sorry, and it was not my intention. I am a fool who knows too much and too little. Really, the only thing I know is that I don't know enough. So if I have done something to disappoint or upset, I'm very sorry. I want to protect life. I want to fix the things that are broken. I want to make this world a better place. I have tried with these trees, with the people that we've encountered. There is just so much that I don't understand, and I don't even know what I'm asking for, really. I suppose I just wanted to reach out and say that I am sorry and ask for forgiveness. And if you see fit, a sign.
As you finish your prayer and tune your senses to the world around you to listen for anything, any sort of response from the natural world, you do hear something.
It was a lovely prayer.
Thank you, friend.
You do know that Eden doesn't talk back.
Yes.
Trying to have conversations with her is an exercise of futility. Trust me. I know from personal experience.
Yes. I naturally did not expect her to speak back. I mostly wanted to apologize for certain things that I've done.
Of course,
And
you feel guilt for some of your actions. There is no reason for it.
why is
Everything
that?
you've done makes perfect sense to me. You have nothing to seek forgiveness for. Nothing that you need to seek penance over.
Thank you. I didn't expect this to be a conversation between the two of us, but it is nice to hear someone say that.
Of course. I'm here to look out for you. You know this. At least, I hope you do.
Yes.
We're on the same side after all.
Indeed. And Xander, with his forehead still against this tree, he is going to close his eyes and he is going to breathe out just a little bit of life into the tree.
As you do so, the tree seems to creak and crack and groan ever so slightly as a few buds are going to appear on the tops of the branches and open up into new leaves.
Xander's going to smile. May you grow strong and healthy and whole. And he will stand up. And he is going to head back in the direction of town.
As you walk back to town, you do not hear any further messages from your head friend.
Wonderful, wonderful. He's going to head back generally in the direction of the tavern, but he's going to actually walk past it and towards the fields of wheat
Okay.
instead.
Make way toward the fields of wheat to the northwest of town. And what do you do there?
Xander is going to find that patch of dead wheat in the center, and he is going to find the area where the hole was, and he's just going to examine it. Does it still seem the way that we left it?
It does seem the same way as you left it, yeah. The people have definitely been here since you've left, but the area now is covered over with dirt. So it seems now just to be a patch of dirt on the ground.
Perfect. Xander is going to lower himself down into the hole, and he's going to activate the door and try to lower himself down into the temple.
The hole is filled.
Right.
Oh, the hole's filled?
Yes, the townsfolk have
Perfect.
filled the hole with dirt.
Got you.
There is no longer. It is now simply a patch of dirt on the ground that is unceremonious in the extreme.
Okay. Perfect.
They have-
Xander,
Yes.
yeah. How loose does the dirt seem? Does it seem to have been like packed in very?
It's not heavily packed in.
Okay.
With enough effort and the right tools, you could probably dig this out in a little while. I mean, it would take certainly a lot of effort, time, and sweat to do so.
Yeah. In that case, Xander is going to begin. He's going to begin digging.
All right. Silly question. Do you have a digging implement?
He does not really have a digging implement. The best that he has is a halberd. It's not really a digging tool.
Great shovel. No.
Yeah, it's not quite the best for that. Let me just look through my stuff. I don't imagine that he has anything better for that. So he's just going to do the best that he can and just take it slow. And as he does, he's just going to be thinking of the words that he said before and this dead patch of grass and kind of become absorbed in the process of it.
Okay. So you begin to try to dig this pit out with a halberd, which is tricky, to say the least. It's a choice, that is true. And this goes by for about 15 minutes or so. After about 15 minutes of like hard digging, you already are beginning to feel a little bit lightheaded. Your constitution is not exactly the greatest in the world.
Yep.
And you're beginning to feel a little bit sweaty and lightheaded, and you've made a little bit of a dent, but a halberd is not designed like a shovel, so it's hard going. You are forced to stop and take a breath just because your lungs are burning and can't bear to push forward without a small break. And when that happens, you hear a voice.
Are you sure that what you're doing is right?
What do you mean?
Well, last I checked, halberds are for fighting, or really, they're more of a defensive weapon, not so much a digging implement.
That would be correct. I do not exactly have a digging implement on me currently.
Would you like one?
Sure.
Turn around.
Xander turns around.
On the ground behind you is a shovel.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome, Xander.
I appreciate it, he's going to say, and pick up the shovel.
You pick up the shovel. It is warm in your hands, like it has just recently been held by another set of hands.
He's going to take a moment, just kind of feel the warmth. Probably feels
Mhm.
good against the chill of the night.
Chill of the evening, yes, indeed.
Indeed. And he is going to start digging.
You find that this shovel bites into the soil very easily and very well. And before you know it, you've managed to uncover that stone spot under the ground. And in fact, even after all of that digging is done, you don't feel nearly as fatigued as you did when you were digging with that halberd. And when you put the shovel to the side after you've finished uncovering that stone, you actually feel invigorated from the experience. Like you've just had a cup of coffee.
Oh. Xander is going to stick the shovel in the dirt next to him.
Mhm.
Say another thank you to his friend, and he's going to drop down into the hole.
All right. You activate the stone, and it slides downward and downward and downward until you are once again inside the crypt of Kalorian.
Wonderful. Xander is going to kind of look around, close his eyes, bask in the silence, I'm assuming, of the area.
Mm?
And
Yep,
then
perfectly silent. You're
he's
the
going
only
to
thing
head
down here.
straight
As
down into the basement.
all of the guardians have been slain, and you are the last living creature in this place.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way down all the way to the crypt room itself and look upon the sarcophagus of the previous incarnation of Owen.
And Xander is going to slowly slide open the lid of the sarcophagus, laying it
You
gently
do
on the
so,
side.
and the glistening bones lay there, uncaring to the ages.
Mm-hmm. Xander is going to kind of rearrange them, reposition them a little bit so that he looks a little bit more comfortable, I suppose. And then he is going to reach into his stuff and he's going to pull out a bottle of holy water. He's going to uncork it and he's going to begin pouring it in a circle on the ground around where the sarcophagus is. Just going over 3 times until the bottle is empty.
You do so.
Then he will stopper it again and put it away, and he will stand in front of, or at the foot of rather, this sarcophagus and look down at the uncaring bones. And he's going to close his eyes and reach into one of those wells, and he's going to begin to speak. And he's going to say, earlier I made an apology to life, and now I would like to make an offering to death. temple of stone, temple of dirt. You lie here, fallen, just an echo of what you once were. But your job here is unfinished. You are not gone, you're simply asleep. And so I would like to offer up some of this lifeblood. I would like it to soak into the stone and into the bone so that this place may be a sanctum again, a bastion against the dark, a sacred ground for those who are lost, a place for reflection, where both the living can find meaning and the dead can find rest. Please, awaken for me, he's going to say, and he will take Arbiter's Edge and he is going to jab himself in the chest with it and let some of that blood flow onto the sarcophagus. I would like to attempt to consecrate the area.
Excellent. Okay. So, a couple questions. One, do you want to use the consecrate spell for this, or do you want to just do this via like a traditional consecration ceremony that you would perform?
I would like to start by casting the spell as he was talking, and then afterwards
Okay.
put in a little bit of extra.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so go ahead and cast the consecrate spell. And
I will do that.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So we're doing the official consecration. I like it.
Yes.
All right. So
Absolutely.
you cast consecration, and then I will also take a knowledge religion from you.
I would be glad to. That is going to be knowledge religion check for you.
Wonderful.
We get a number?
So 24, it looks like.
24. Excellent.
Decent.
So Xander, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Nothing
I
at all.
thought I heard something. Sorry. So Xander, what you do is you perform this ritual, pour out the holy water, making the circles that you know to do, and the spell as you cast it is going to fill this place with a similar golden light than what you have seen in many of your previous spell castings. It's going to shimmer and hang in the air here, like stopped motion sparkles. They just hang there in the air. And it gives this place an otherworldly feeling that seems to fill you with a sense of both warmth and purpose. This place no longer feels like a tomb. It now feels like a place of reflection and worship in a way that it didn't before. The moth climbs out of your amulet, walks around onto your shoulder.
Xander will smile and pet it as he's looking around, just breathing in the atmosphere, the energy of the place.
Eventually, the moth will take off and flitter about the room for a while before coming back to a landing on the top of your head.
Xander will smile, and he will kneel down beside the sarcophagus, and he will look down at the body and put his hand on the forehead and say, "We are on the way." And he will slide the lid back on.
All right, you do so.
He'll stand up, look around, breathe in one more time as if he is trying to fill his lungs with this air and remember the feeling. And he's going to make his way out of the temple.
You make your way out of the temple, activating the stone again to be lifted back up to the surface. And once that stops moving and you find yourself back out again amongst the night air, you will hear a voice.
That was very kind of you.
Oh. Thank you.
Perform such magic.
I think that it is important to be kind.
I agree. Kindness is a strength all its own, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would agree with that.
I suppose I should leave you to it then.
Xander looks down. Thank you very much for the assistance that you provided
The
tonight.
shovel? It was nothing. Only a trifle. Something that I could do to help you.
Regardless, I think it's the thought that counts, and I would have been floundering with that halberd for quite some time if you
Of
didn't.
course.
So
It is in my nature to seek out those in need and help them in any way that I can.
I appreciate that.
course.
I hope you have a wonderful night, friend.
And you as well, friend.
Thank
If
you.
you think more on our offer, let me know.
I promise you I will.
And the voice is gone.
Xander's going to look up at the moon and the stars twinkling above and going to return to the green fields.
All right, you make your way back to the green fields.
Ka-tunk. So this one is yarrow, and this is Villish chamomile, and this is called calendula, I think, and they're all supposed to help your like tissue reconnect, pretty much. That's sort of why I mixed it into a poultice.
Yeah, but what if I just like get really drunk and pass out, and then like I wake up and just then it's all done, right? Like, do I need to learn how to make this myself?
No, I
'Cause,
was
like,
just explaining what I put on your. Hi, Xander.
Oh,
hey Xando.
hello.
I
Your
guess what I mean by that is like, I don't really like need to learn how to do this because like
I just
you'll be here to
wanted
help, right?
you to know that I wasn't poisoning you, I guess.
Bro, I said before, if you were gonna poison me now, then like you're
Yeah,
kind of
but-
stupid. Cause like you could have killed me like a long time ago, way easier than this.
Not really.
What do you mean, not really? There's plenty of
Yes.
times you could have killed me.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like a lot. Yeah.
I suppose I don't really consider that.
If you say so. Pull up a chair, Xando. How you doing? You look
sure, I
dusty.
Dirty?
Yes, I suppose. I was
You,
digging for quite some time.
Wait, did you go back to the thing? Like, I
What
thought we were all done in there.
thing?
Yeah, the thing, the place with all the stuff in it.
Why would you be
Outside
digging?
of town in the wheat field.
Someone filled it back in.
Oh, gotcha. Why do you know that, Bastion?
Why wouldn't I know that? We've been in town for like a day.
You went back there?
No, but like people talk. Don't you like listen into people when they talk? It's like the easiest way to know what's going on in a town.
I, mm,
It's all good, bro. So, Sazando, why go back there? Like, I thought you were done in that place. Like, took everything.
Well, that is true, but I wondered whether there was anything else, I suppose.
Okay.
I guess I've just been reflecting, especially after that voice from earlier.
Well, I mean, whenever I feel reflective, like, it's usually like,
in front of a mirror?
oh, man. All right, you win. That was better than what I was going to say.
What were you going to say out of curiosity?
Oh, that like it probably means that I either need to like get really, really drunk or go to like a brothel.
Oh,
You're right, mine was
see.
better. And Louie will
That's
just
what I
give him
said.
a little nudge.
That's what I said.
I know. I just like hearing it.
well, I cannot say that what I did was nearly as fun as getting drunk or going to a brothel, but I just wanted to make sure. Besides, like you said, Louie, it may be because of me.
Did you find what you were looking for? Or did you find something you didn't know you were looking for, but now you're happier that you have?
I'm glad that I went searching for answers, I suppose. But I feel like usually I'm not finding the answers are finding me. If that makes sense.
Sometimes it's like that, though. But you still get to learn.
Yes. And I feel that I have learned a good bit tonight.
Good. Grandma always said, as long as you learn one thing a day, you're set for life.
Well, then I should be set for several lifetimes.
Good. Let's keep learning.
And Bastion, too, with all of these plants and such.
I'm just trying to keep him alive. And Louie will wink.
Well, I'm sure between the two of us we can probably handle that.
What do you think, Bastion?
I find it's usually better when I don't, he says as he puts down a now empty tankard. Why? Do you need my opinion on something?
I wouldn't.
Like real bad?
No. You rest. Have fun. And Don't overdo it like I did earlier.
Oh, I mean, I can hold my alcohol, I think, a little better than you. Not, I'm not trying to like brag. I just think it's probably the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so at least.
There was a group of friends I knew, kind of in my young adult life.
Yeah.
There was
Tell me
one
about it.
night we were playing cards and drinking, and I don't know. I had never really had a spark of competition until that moment in such a long time, and I wanted to drink them all under the table, and I don't know what it was that was so sobering about it, but I kind of just drove through so many tankards that day. Doesn't help that I'm good at cards. Which was their mistake on that end. I stole so much money from them.
Wow.
Mm.
Bastion, you may have competition.
Unlikely.
Well, depends. I try not to gamble anymore. But I mean, some places don't really allow for the technique that I can do.
Counting cards.
Mm-hmm. Depends on the place. How sketchy it is. But because of that, I also don't think it's a great idea for me to do that anymore.
Well, now I kind of want to see the two of you play cards.
Would you ever want to play cards with me, Bastion?
Sure, I can play cards. What games you got? What do you know?
Just poker.
Oh, all right. You got a deck with you?
Nope. We'll have to grab
No
some in the
shit.
morning.
All right.
2 decks.
Oh, so you can cheat?
Nope.
Okay.
So I can prove it to you.
That what?
With a fresh deck every time.
Yeah, but if you have 2 decks, it means then you have like.
Bastion, you don't
8
use them
aces.
all at once.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Never mind. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
No, but I don't know if you understand what you're saying. Or what I'm saying.
I understand what I'm saying.
Fine. There's no cheating involved besides my little technique.
Hmm.
Xander just looks between the two of them and smiles.
I'm glad you're happy.
I'm
Usually happy.
glad. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm usually happy necessarily, though I'm not usually unhappy either.
Mm-hmm. Claims have been made. At points, one might say.
Well, I am happy now.
Good. I'm so gonna gamble your ass under the table.
You can try. But you're gonna lose. Luck's
Okay.
always been on my side.
I don't need luck.
For card games, that's all you need.
No.
That's what the game is.
Okay.
All right.
Logic, physics, maybe a little bit of dastardly planning.
What's poker?
Nothing you have to worry about, darling.
Oh, all right.
Husa, are you drunk?
Maybe.
Okay.
This drink, it's like... It pops in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very fizzy.
Yeah. Do you need to, lay down, sweetheart?
Okay.
Let's get you to a bed.
Yeah. We've got you.
And Husa will stumble, and it's all just wings and tails flailing everywhere as she knocks over a couple of bar stools.
Louie's gonna mage hand them back up.
Mumbles apologies as she goes, and you assist her to somewhere where she can lie down.
Yeah. Just right over here, sweetheart. Don't worry. You're gonna sleep well enough. Just a second. And Louie is gonna go and grab some water from a restroom or something, and then just go and bring it back to her, put it on her nightstand, and then just tuck her in. Just make sure there's nothing that can fall on her in her sleep. Turns her on her side so she doesn't choke on vomit. And then just closes the door and lets her be.
Well, an interesting night to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
To the Circle Seekers, I guess. Bastion holds up his glass.
Louis will kind of look around and then just push Husa's to Xander so that he has one.
Xander will reach into his pouch and he'll pull out a bundle in silk cloth and he'll open it up, and inside is the glass that Husa gifted him.
Yeah, Louie will take her new one then and then hold it up to the Circle Seekers and our futures.
Indeed.
And as the three of you toast to the future of your adventuring group, we will pan the camera out and fade to black.